The RAD 2400 HD is one of the most popular devices, partly because of its flexibility. You can run it either together with a manifestation program or you can run it by itself. I show now the main functions when you run it by itself and how you can use it. The device has two radionic settings, one for the target of the operation. The first three dials connect with the well for the target. Here you can put, for instance, a photo of a person. And the second one is for the trend or for the desired effect or the path to a desired effect. It's depending on you and the success strategies. There's a lot of success strategies in the manual. So you write it down, or you can put a symbol there reflecting this effect. Here I have just written down desired effect. And so you have the well and the two wells where you put your structural linkage. Now, to solidify that connection, you use the radionic dials, and you can set the dials two ways. The traditional way is you use a stick pad or rubbing plate here, and you move your finger circular, or some people use the thumb, and it is basically a tool for ideomotor movement that tells you when you feel it different, it tells you to stop. For instance, you turn a dial while you are moving your finger in a circular motion, and whenever it feels different, right near it hops. That's the correct setting. You can learn that with relative ease. Then go to the next dial, then to the third, here, okay. And then you can fine-tune it by going with the same procedure again, and just go a little bit forward and back till you get that feeling of it rubbing differently. So, as far as radionic settings are concerned, this is a traditional way. Of course, there are rate books available. You can as well write your own. And a radionic setting like this simply solidifies the structural link between your machine and the person whom you want to help, and the machine with what you are writing about desired effect, and again it goes to the person that you want to help, and this effect, you can also assume it connects with the effect as a whole in universe of effects. It depends on you what type of idea or mapping you have for this. Now, the next thing to do is set a frequency. Here it is on continuous frequencies, and you can, again, to get the exact frequency, you can use your stick pad or rubbing plate, or you can use gut feeling. And of course you can also decide for a fixed frequency, 14.1 Hertz. You see it blinking. That's 10 Hertz, 7.83. You find the meanings of those frequencies, what they mostly do in the manual. 7 Hertz, 6.3 Hertz, and 3.5. That's the slowest one of the fixed frequencies that are preset. So this way you set it up. About the radionic rates, as I said, the traditional things, there are rate books available. I do not have rate books for these dials, and you can, once you find something with the stick pad, you can write that down and reuse it, because that connects with it. I did actually double-blind experiments in a research about those radionic rates and the books. There are many books out there. They say they are correct, which is they work, that's correct. If they say they are the only ones that work, that's not correct. Any rate book works. And I did double-blind experiments where I found out that if you think of something, either a target position or a trend, and you set the dials arbitrarily while knowing that the energy goes there, that is sufficient to establish a structural link or solidify your thoughts or your abstraction. So the device runs, of course. Now I show the back of the device. Let me unplug it first. And you have here the power switch, 8 volts, 9 volts, and at least 200 milliamps is good. The switch is here. Down here you have frequency input that goes to a second generator, and you can, for instance, when the manifestation program has a frequency output, you plug it right into there, and that frequency will power the second generator, and you have actually something almost the double power of the device. And it is exact frequency that you set in your manifestation program, or the sequence of frequencies. So here is the switch. Then you have here 4 jacks, and that's for external wells or external connections, or to touch it. Here is the output to the target, input trend, output trend. Typically, when you have an external well, it's connected with a patch cable, a wire, and you have a box or something where you have structural links to a person or to a specific effect that you want to have. Maybe you put a perfume into it or something like this. Probably the person who is involved in radionics knows what I'm talking about here, and you'll find it also on my free course material. You can also use those with patch cables to connect several of the RAD 2400 ID HD with each other. So 3 devices, 4 devices, you just chain them up and you have a lot more power, and you have also a lot more flexibility. Especially when you work with a super manifestation program, you may want to work with 2 or 3 of those machines, which comes very close to the heavy-duty donut devices, the RAD 5 and the ATGS 3000.